with Steve Tasker, as today these two rivals from the AFC West meet for the first time this season. Mike Holmgren, now in his third season as head coach at Seattle, looking to protect his quarterback better today. Matt Hasselbeck sacked 7 times in the loss last week. And there's John Gruden at 38, still the youngest head coach in the NFL. Got the job when he was just 34 and had a division championship team last year. Seahawks kick off. Ryan Lundell boots it down the field, and here is David Dunn of the Raiders. Blocking pattern forms, and Dunn's across the 20, and then good special teams play by the Hawks takes him down at the 22-yard line. Isaiah Kazavinsky, the former Harvard captain, makes the stop as we look at Rich Gannon out to quarterback the Raiders. Now in his 14th year out of Delaware. One of the best quarterbacks in the league last season. Very tough, particularly accurate when he's on the run. The leader of this team, he's 18-6 over his last 24 starts. Raiders break the huddle without their great center Barrett Robbins, who was out for the rest of the season with a knee injury suffered last week. So they have True in at center. First and 10 Raiders. Gannon comes out firing, makes a connection to a tight end. That's Roland Williams, number 86, who's quickly taken down by cornerback Willie Williams and Anthony Simmons. We look at the blocking front now for the Oakland Raiders. Sims, Wisniewski, Adam True at center, Mo Collins, and huge Lincoln Kennedy. In the backfield, Ty Wheatley's the main runner. Ritchie, a good blocker and receiver. Tim Brown and Jerry Weiss, great wide receivers. And Roland Williams, the new acquisition this year, at tight end. Second down and 3. Gannon gets time, looking deep, and now sidearms the ball as only he can so well, and he gets it out to Charlie Garner. Another new acquisition and an excellent receiver out of the backfield, and it's a first down for the Raiders as we look at the Seahawks on defense. It's been restructured. Sinclair and King the ends. Chad Eaton and John Randall are new at tackle, veteran players. They've been brought in as free agents. So has Levon Kirkland, the former Steeler, at middle linebacker with Simmons and Brown, two very good outside backers. Ken Lucas, a rookie, starts at cornerback. Willie Williams is back in the lineup. He's been out with a fractured arm. And the safeties are Tong and the newly acquired Marcus Robertson. Raiders going into different alignments now. And Gannon, Steve, sees something he doesn't like.
Well, one of the things they're doing early on is shifting and going in motion a lot. And that's trying to get that done, caused them to be late in the play clock.
Oakland, where it could be probably in the low 90s on the playing field.
Right there's Charlie Garner. You see how he moves way out to the sideline. His flexibility and his versatility has given him a new weapon in this offense this year.
He's been terrific so far, particularly catching the ball as the Raiders try power football as Garner runs the ball.
One of the things about Charlie Garner, Don, is at the end of last year, even though they went to the championship game, they felt they needed some more things to do in their offense. Somebody that wouldn't let people key on their personnel. Charlie Garner can do everything you want a back to do, including, like you see here at the top of your screen, he can split out wide as a wide receiver.
He had almost 2,400 yards over the last 2 years at San Francisco before coming to the Raiders. Second down and 5. And it is incomplete, and that'll make it 3rd and 5 as he was going to Tim Brown. And now we take a look at the task at hand.
Well, it's very simple. For the Seattle Seahawks, it's obvious. They haven't scored an offensive touchdown all year. They've got to wake up on offense. And number 2, they've got to play better at their cornerbacks on defense. And for the Raiders, they need to take advantage of those cornerbacks and take it outside with the wide receivers. And they've got to make sure Matt Hasselbeck doesn't break out and have his first good game as a pro against the Oakland Raiders here today.
Well, he had a tough game last week, but I've seen him, although it was in the preseason, play great football when he was at Green Bay. Here is Gannon stepping into the pocket, sidearms the ball downfield. It's not close. And the Seahawk defense holds on this opening drive after the Raiders do get one first down.
One thing that's given the Seahawk defense, or that's been working for the Seahawk defense against this Raiders club, is their inability to stop the run is what's dictated the game. And now, with the 3 new guys on defense, Chad Eaton, John Randall, and Levon Kirkland, their run defense has gotten to a point where now the Raiders are going to have to throw the football to win.
Last year, the Raiders, as you know, Steve, really ripped up running yardage. They were the best running team in the NFL, and they really ripped the Seahawks. But the Seahawks are a much tougher run on now. Here is Rodgers back for the punt. And a beautifully executed special teams play by the Oakland Raiders as Rodgers is taken down inside the 10-yard line. So Hasselbeck and the Seahawks go on offense when we come back. There was a penalty signal.
Illegally downfield, 5 yards, repeat 4th down.
So a 54-yard punt with a very short return is negated now as the Raiders, Steve, had an extra guy or a guy leaving early downfield. That used to be you.
That's exactly right. One of the things that you always do, I think, as a receiving team, especially in this case where they got great coverage, make them kick it again. It's so difficult to run 60 yards in the heat with the guy trying to block you to come back, walk back down the field, kick it again, and then try to do that again. You can expect on these type of plays for the Seattle Seahawks to get a much better return because of the fatigue factor of the coverage unit.
Those words spoken by a guy who went to the Pro Bowl 7 times, Steve Tasker, as a Buffalo Bill as a special teams specialist. Now back to punt is Leckler. Tremendous leg. They got a great kicking game here in Oakland. A long ball hit downfield, but Rodgers will run this one back across the 30. And a big difference in starting position now for the Seahawks as Rodgers is knocked out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Tackle on the play by Bobby Brooks. Side throw, and he swings it out beautifully to Ricky Waters, who crashes ahead for what looks to be first down yardage out to the 45-yard line. Anthony Dorsett knocks him out of bounds, a 10-yard gain. Matt Hasselbeck, who was blitzed non-stop last week by the Eagles, sacked 7 times. But his teammates all extol him. They think he's going to be a tremendous player. Every teammate you talk to.
Well, you talk to John Gruden, it's his job to stop him today, and he looks across the field and says, hey, if I know firsthand, if Mike Holmgren says this guy can play, I know he can play. And he's shown in his preseason starts as a player, that's the reason a guy gets scouted and gets a starting chance. He has played very well in limited opportunities in the preseason.
Well, Matt Hasselbeck is big at 6'4", 235 pounds. He's the son of a former standout tight end, Don Hasselbeck, who played with the Patriots.
So Hasselbeck, you know, this is a guy that's in his it's his 3rd start as a pro. It's going to take some time. I mean, this is a young guy who's on a team with a lot of solid veterans. Ricky Waters on next club. This is a guy that's going to have to grow into his comfort level to where he can lead this team and step up and say, hey, this is my team and I'm going to run it. He's not there yet.
That early throw could give him some confidence. Mike Holmgren telling us yesterday his offense lacks confidence right now. His defense does not. It's a handoff, and Waters, who's been a tremendous player now in his 11th season, takes it ahead and is knocked down by William Thomas as we look at the Seahawks on offense. 3 former #1 draft choices in their offensive line, including Waller Jones, Steve Hutchinson, and the right tackle McIntosh. Kobeck, a good center. Garrett Gray at guard. Waters and Max Strong, the runners. Rookie Corn Robinson and Darrell Jackson, the wideouts. Etula Mealy starts at tight end. It is now 2nd down and 9 for the Seahawks at their 46-yard line. Pitch back. Penalty markers down as Waters breaks it. Ricky Waters comes in, averaging 5.4 yards a rush this season. Taken down by Tony Bryant, but a couple of penalty markers down.
One of the things about Matt Hasselbeck, he's got a guy behind him in Ricky Waters who's had some success against this Raider team. When you look back at Ricky Waters' career numbers, that'll give a quarterback a lot of confidence. But Hasselbeck has got to have a good running game before he's going to be able to flourish as a quarterback.
Now, Matt Hasselbeck, apparently the call against the Raiders is referee Ron Blum. Tells Matt Hasselbeck what the options are here. Here's referee Ron Blum.
Offside, 90 defense, 5 yards, repeat 2nd down.
Grady Jackson jumped early.
They're going to take the play. They're going to take the results of the penalty rather than the play and lose the 2 yards. So instead of a 7 or 8 yard gain, it's going to be a 5-yard gain and repeat the down.
Defensive line, Upshaw, Taves, Jackson across the front with Bryant. Thomas, Beekert, and Alexander, the linebackers. A great corner in Woodson. Eric Allen, the veteran, at the other corner. Dorsett and Pope, the safeties. Hand up. Waters turns it upfield. Breaks into the Raider defense. And takes it down to the 39-yard line. Big block on the play downfield by the rookie wide receiver, Corn Robinson.
And he really makes this play as Ricky Waters comes around the corner. It's really underrated how important the wide receivers are in the run game. Watch as Ricky Waters has plenty of room to cut inside the block. Woodson has a hard time getting in there, even though he made a pretty good shot. Ricky Waters has enough room to get in there and make a 5-yard game, and that's the company that Ricky Waters keeps with a career like his.
116 straight starts for Waters. Has never missed a game in his 11th year out of Notre Dame. First down and 10. Seahawks driving on their first possession after stopping the Raiders. Good throw. It goes to Jackson, the wide receiver. And Darrell Jackson out of Florida, University of Florida, takes it ahead and gets down close to the Raider 31-yard line.
Thing about this Seattle offense, and we spoke to Mike Holmgren yesterday, he says, I've got to make sure Matt Hasselbeck doesn't get hit so much. And this is one of the ways. Let him drop back and throw some routes that are very short. Let the guys catch it and then break for long run. That'll build confidence. When you talk to all the guys on this team, confidence is the one thing that offense has lacked.
Well, they're getting more confident now, moving the ball on this first possession. Handoff. There's not much there for Waters. Raiders come in and shut it down quickly. On the baseball infield, this, of course, also the home of the red-hot Oakland A's, as Marquez Pope, strong safety, came up and was one of the tacklers, 23.
This offense with Ricky Waters in the backfield, you mentioned just a moment ago, Don, Ricky doesn't miss many games. And we asked him, how is it,
he doesn't miss any.
He doesn't miss any games. How do you keep that going? He says, well, nowadays in the NFL, you can't get out of shape. You're always in shape throughout the offseason. You work hard, and that's really that's the standard line in the NFL now. Nobody gets out of shape. Training camp is to learn. You stay in shape because you're a professional.
Handoff on 3rd and short. Hasselbeck goes behind his center, Tobeck, but there's penalty markers down all over. Robbie Tobeck out of Washington State, a very good, aggressive, quick center. Got the block up, but we'll see if they...
Ball start.
They did leave early.
Offense. 5 yards. Repeat 3rd down.
Well, that happens on a quick snap. Sometimes you go up there and everybody thinks, okay, it's going to be on the very first thing he says, first sound. And there's no rhythm there, so you can't really hear the quarterback. You just kind of have to go, and everybody's trying to get that big jump just for a quick quarterback sneak. And it happens just as often on a quick count as it does on a long count.
Well, it sets them back now, and both these teams have excellent long field goal kickers. They can really boom it from way out. Hasselbeck goes to Waters on a draw. Look at the move by Ricky Waters as he drives down close to the 31. He's short of the first down, but it will bring up 4th down and probably about a yard.
And they're going to keep Hasselbeck and the offense on the field. I think that's a good move here on the road. You'll watch here as Ricky Waters, watch as he pops through. Watch the move he puts on Marquez Pope, gets by him, but then the help is there. Good move, I think, on Mike Holmgren's part. This is, you're on the road, you're down deep into their end, go for it. Make a statement to your team. Get some confidence here early in the game.
Let's see if this is a confidence maker or the Raiders make it a confidence breaker. 4th down and 1, Seahawks. Hasselbeck looked like he changed the play. Crowd really kicks in. Handoff. Waters is stopped. The Raiders take over the ball. Great defense by the Raiders as the linebackers shoot along with Pat Grady Jackson. And so on 4th and 1, the Seahawks drive is stopped. And the Raiders take over the ball, and they'll be on offense for the 2nd time in this game when we come back to Oakland.
Sunday, Jim. Comfortable, spacious, magnetic. The Civic from Honda.
Point. Shoot. Create. The HP Digital Photo Studio, featuring the Pavilion 7970 with the Intel Pentium 4 processor. How will you use it? Save up to $250 by mail on HP digital photography products.
Once again, Michelin has earned the J.D. Power and Associates Awards for customer satisfaction in tires. Now that's cause for celebration.
Inevitably, there will come a time in your life when you realize you need a cell phone. And when that time comes, we'll be here.
Wednesday, some couples are reaching their boiling point.
I said please.
But wait till they see where they have to go next.
Oh, my God.
All new Amazing Race, CBS Wednesday.
Matt Hasselbeck on 4th down changed the play at the line of scrimmage, and when you do that as a quarterback, you got to answer to the head guy. You can see there he's explaining what he saw, and Mike Holmgren says, okay, that'll do it. But it better work when you change the play as a quarterback.
You talk about Mike Holmgren's absolutes. One of them don't be changing many plays. Here's a throw to Jerry Rice downfield. Ken Lucas, the rookie corner from Mississippi, trying to defend him. But the Raiders hit their first big gainer on the play.
One of these
17 yards.
What happens? Rich Gannon here finding Jerry Rice. This is a heck of a throw right here. Good route. Look at that. That's Jerry Rice vintage. He uses the receiver or the defender's abilities against him, gets him turned the wrong direction, breaks the route off. Quarterbacks love throwing footballs to guys who can get separation, and that guy's been doing it for a long time.
228 consecutive games with at least one reception for the greatest receiver in the history of the game, Jerry Rice. Longtime 49er, now a Raider. 16 years with the Niners across the bay. Here's a near side throw, and the ball is tipped away. They were looking at Jeremy Brigham, was Rich Gannon. Couldn't make the completion. Chad Brown playing having a good year at outside linebacker, and there is a penalty marker down.
One of the things you'll see Rich Gannon change the play quite often. And as a quarterback, you know, you go to the Pro Bowl, you earn that right.
Ball is against Seattle.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 90, defense, 15 yards.
Chad Eaton, defensive tackle, who was signed as an unrestricted free agent from New England, a former Washington State Cougar.
As a quarterback, when you're in there, we saw Matt Hasselbeck do it on the last play of the Seattle possession. Now Rich Gannon, you'll see him change the play as well. Matt Hasselbeck doesn't have as much confidence to do that as often as Rich Gannon. Plus, Rich Gannon has earned the right to run this offense. He has a great relationship with John Gruden, the head coach, and he has more leeway because of his experience.
Well, they're the same age. Here's the thrower. Gruden, I guess, has got him by a year, but they're nearly the same age. As Rice again is wide open. They all talk, Steve, about the unbelievable work ethic of Jerry Rice. He sets the pace even in this, his 17th NFL season. Nobody can outwork him. Log on to NFL.com for exclusive online auctions. All proceeds will be donated to the September 11th relief effort. Just go to NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com. Raiders now with an interesting play call. 2nd down and 3 at the 28-yard line. Big Lincoln Kennedy. And Mo Collins next to him might have left early. 79.
One of the things I've noticed about the Raider game plan today already, they're not running the football.
Ball start, 79 offense, 5 yards, repeat 2nd down.
This is a team that ran the football better than anybody in the National Football League a year ago, and the Seahawks knew it. Now watch here, you'll see as Mo Collins just steps out. But this is a team that runs the ball well, but today they're acknowledging that the Seahawks defense has improved, and they're going to throw it out of here.
Last year, the Raiders rushed for over 200 yards in both wins over. And here is a throw to Rice and his first touchdown as a Raider. Jerry Rice from 33 yards out. And Mike Holmgren, who said rule number 1 today, key to the game, don't give up the big play. But the Raiders burn them deep and take the lead.
Jerry Rice told us on Friday, he goes, I really want to score my first touchdown today. And watch here as he runs right up the seam. Perfect route. Great throw from Gannon. And watch as he crosses the goal line right up into what they call the black hole here in the Coliseum. And there it is.
The extra point by Janikowski is hit up and good. So the Raiders hit the big play as the Eagles did last week to build a lead on the Seahawks.
It's amazingly clear. It's digital and multifunctional. High-definition TV from Samsung. It's a world of clarity. And everyone's invited.
With a magic third-row seat and a quadruple 5-star safety rating. It's one of the joys of parenthood.
Do you think we have everything?
Yeah, we'll only be gone an hour.
The Odyssey from Honda.
Bolder, richer, creamier. Killian's Irish Red. One look says a lot.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nextel, how business gets done. And by Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at great low prices.
Back to Oakland with 6:22 left to go in the first quarter. The Raiders on their second possession hit the big play for the great Jerry Rice, who has now scored 188 regular season touchdowns in the NFL. No one even approaches that in the history of the game. Charlie Rogers back deep now for the Seahawks. Ready to run back the kickoff. Stepping into the ball, getting ready to, is Sebastian Janikowski. He powers the ball deep the field. No runner back. Here comes Rogers. 10, 15, and good special teams play by the Raiders. And again, the Seahawks will start in their own end at the 15 this time, just across it. Eric Barton comes down and makes the stop.
Well, here's the touchdown. You'll watch Rich Gannon look the safety back to the left side of the field, then come back to Jerry Rice working one-on-one with the safety, Reggie Tongue. That's a mismatch, and that's what a lot of good receivers will give you. Tim Brown on the left, the safety has to respect him, and then all of a sudden you look over, you've got the best guy that's ever played the game on the right side, and you just don't know what to do as a defensive back.
Right, you know, Stevie was so anxious to score today. The first regular season game here at Network Associates Coliseum with the Raiders, and he does. Here is Hasselbeck stepping in. He goes long, and Darrell Jackson's on the fly, but the ball is overthrown. As the Seahawks try to get some back in a hurry, Woodson was running stride for stride with Jackson.
And one of the most publicized offseason acquisitions ever is this guy, Jerry Rice, moving across the bay from the San Francisco 49ers to the Oakland Raiders. And that's total yards, all-purpose yards. And that's very distinguished company. And Jerry Rice is, he continues to change the record books.
Hall of Fame company. They got a first ballot Hall of Famer, the other wideout, too, when they back on the offensive side to the Raiders. And Tim Brown. Here's Hasselbeck, makes a throw, and it might have been picked had not the cornerback, Eric Allen, not backpedaled and tripped on the baseball infield.
Yeah, that was Corn Robinson, the rookie there, and he did something you don't do in the National Football League. You never stop on a slant route. And Eric Allen almost ended up with the football because of that. Corn Robinson, you know, when you're at the level in college, you do that because your quarterback has a little more time. In the NFL, the ball's coming out of there and it's going to a spot. You better be there, and he wasn't.
Ricky Waters, we're informed, has a sprained right shoulder. Here's a guy who's never missed a game, and his return to this game is now listed as questionable. Bad blow. Here's another throw down the middle, and it's so overthrown as they were ready to level Corn Robinson, but the ball was way overthrown. And a penalty marker's down at the line of scrimmage.
That's going to be encroachment. I think somebody lined up in the neutral zone for the Raiders. The Seahawks will get another shot at this.
Number 93, defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards, repeat third down.
Trace Armstrong, the guy that came over from the Miami Dolphins.
They're concerned about him, too. They were talking yesterday. We talked to Mike Holmgren. He said, we've really got to account for him.
As an offense, and especially an offensive line, there's always one guy on the other team that you want to make sure you know where he is. And Trace Armstrong is a guy that they're going to have at least 2 guys looking at in all their pass protection, because this is a guy that is a specialist. He rushes the passer like nobody.
13-year veteran from Florida, Trace Armstrong. Had 16.5 sacks last season with the Dolphins before coming here as a free agent. On 3rd down and 5. Hasselbeck gets it away, but it's incomplete. As he goes out to Bobby Ingram. The Seattle offense with no touchdowns this season. Jeff Fiegels, their punter, now comes out, and the Raiders could come out of this with good field position as they drop back David Dunn. Fiegels, a very good punter, been at it a long time. 14th year. Skilled directional punter, averaging almost 48 yards a punt this year.
It's not going to get any easier for Seattle Seahawks if Ricky Waters is unable to come back into this game.
Huge blow. Fiegels hits a high spiral. Dunn comes up out of it, the 32. Looks for the sideline, and the special teams coverage is good as Alex Bannister, first-year wide receiver, comes down along with Fabian Bones to make the special teams tackle. 49-yard punt, 8-yard return.
Come on. What's in here?
A lot of cargo room is a good thing. Right?
Unbelievable.
The Accord from Honda.
I think this photo paper is just what you're looking for. Wow, great price.
David White, 3-time Employee of the Month, Dan.
He has a natural ability to match a customer's needs with his budget. Really a go-to guy in these situations.
We've got TP on the wingtips.
Only Nextel digital cellular phones have Direct Connect.
Static cling coming at you, 12 o'clock.
A digital two-way radio feature for instant contact.
Code red, there's snow on the mountains. I repeat, snow on the mountains.
Good luck, sir.
Good luck, sir.
Good luck, sir.
So you can solve problems with the push of a button.
Gentlemen, glad to meet you.
At least the ones you're aware of. Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio feature that lets you get right through.
Good value.
Price is right. What's the resolution?
2400 DPI.
Oh, brilliant display of team chemistry, Dan.
Yeah, Charles Rosen and Matt Herman not only have a command of the products, they anticipate exactly where the other's going to be on the floor.
How prepared are we for a biological or chemical attack? Let the man who briefs the president brief you. 60 Minutes, tonight.
Join the castaways from Survivor 1 and Survivor 2 in an all-new special.
Well,
an exclusive look at Survivor, Countdown to Africa, CBS Thursday.
Ricky Waters on the sideline, diagnosed preliminarily as a sprained right shoulder. Ice is on. It doesn't look, Steve, like he's going to be back anytime soon. A big blow to the offense of the Seahawks. Gannon pump fakes. Near side throw to his tight end, and Brigham takes it down. Big Jeremy Brigham, who was a former Washington Husky, knocked out of bounds by Anthony Simmons.
It's really surprising to watch this Raider team. They went into Miami a week ago with a conservative game plan. They handed the ball up. They didn't want to turn it over. They felt like if they could keep the Miami offense off the field, they'd be all right. And they were. It was a pretty good road game. They got off the hook in the last minute. But today, they're throwing it all over the field.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaking loss for the Raiders last week. They had a 15-10 lead at Miami with 1:41 to play, and with no timeouts, the Dolphins went 80 yards and got the winning score. Handoff. Nothing happening for Charlie Garner as a much more aggressive attacking Seahawk defense shuts it down. Chad Eaton and Chad Brown were on the stop.
You know, one of the things we spoke about, and the thing that's different about this Seahawk defense is that guy right there, Chad Eaton, also Levon Kirkland in the middle, and John Randall, who is a fantastic pass rusher and a high motor guy inside on the defensive tackle. Right in the heart of the Seahawk defense are three new guys who have really, really improved the overall team.
Well, they were last in NFL defense. As you know, Steve, last year the Seahawks, they have improved markedly. Gannon takes a look. Here comes the rush. He lobs the ball downfield, and there's too much on it. We'll take a look now and see maybe where Ricky Watters might have gotten hurt earlier.
And I'll tell you what, for the Seahawks, this is the play of the game. I mean, Ricky Watters is a guy they've got to have. And you see there, just the pile up. You don't know. It looked like he kind of rolled with it. Didn't look like a vicious hit. You see worse things, really. You don't see where his shoulder got hurt that time. You know what? He may have already been hurt on that play. It didn't look like he ran with the normal Ricky Watters oomph.
Well, it brings up now 4th and 3, and without Ricky Watters, the Seahawks will get it back on offense. Leckler booms a punt. Charlie Rogers lets it carry him into the end zone for a touchback. And Matt Hasselbeck and the Seahawks will go on offense from their 20. 1st and 10. 7-0 Raiders. And the touchdown throw from Rich Gannon to Jerry Rice.
Hasselbeck comes on.
Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS shows up regional action. You'll see the Titans face the Ravens, or the Jaguars take on the Seahawks, or the Chiefs visit the Broncos. Check local listings beginning with Jim, Jerry, Randy, Mike, Marcus, and Leslie on the NFL Today. For more information, go to NFL.com, the official source for all your NFL information. Hasselbeck without his lead runner. Now goes 1st and 10 to throw the ball. Timing pattern. He's in trouble. Gets out of it. Looks downfield. And Matt Hasselbeck does well to get back to the line of scrimmage as William Thomas, an 11-year veteran at outside linebacker, brings him down. 59.
Yeah, well, Matt Hasselbeck has not played well in the first 2 games. They have not scored an offensive touchdown. Here's his numbers. 29 for 58 and 2 interceptions. He's been sacked 11 times. But I think one of the things you have to remember, especially with Ricky Watters out of the game, Matt Hasselbeck has to have the frame of mind that this is his chance. This is his opportunity. He doesn't have anybody to lean on. This is something he can turn into a positive if he can play well.
That was credited as a sack to William Thomas in the Raider defense. Hasselbeck throws over the middle. Beautifully done as he triggers the ball to Corin Robinson. Big, rangy wide receiver out of North Carolina, who they expect to be a great one. 1st-round draft choice, a 15-yard gain, and a big play for the Hawks.
That was a good, excellent play by Hasselbeck. Stood tall in the pocket. Watch, at the last moment, he gets rid of this. Then he's down. The pocket collapses, but Robinson makes a good catch, and that's a gutsy throw into some coverage. Matt Hasselbeck, you can't really tell, but when you stand next to him on the sidelines, at least when I do, he's really tall. He's a big guy, so he can take some hits.
There's 6'4", 233. He's 3 of 6. For 33 yards throwing the ball. He's been sacked once. Stands in. There's another throw, and he gets Corin Robinson. They've been waiting for him to emerge. Robinson with just 4 pretty much meaningless catches in the first 2 games. But all of a sudden, you see why he was a #1 draft choice, a high #1. 17-yard gain.
Corin Robinson is in his first action here this year. Watch as he comes out of the slot right at the top of your screen, right in behind the linebackers. And that's just an excellent throw. It takes a little time for routes like that to develop in weeks past. Matt Hasselbeck's been on his back or running for his life by the time a route like that develops.
There's no question, Steve, the pass blocking is really tightened up. They're trying to get a rush up the middle of Hasselbeck, and it's being slammed shut. The open channels. Here's a throw. Sideline and very nearly picked. Charles Woodson, phenomenal player. 1st-team All-Pro player. Former Heisman Trophy winner, a shutdown cornerback, had his hands on it.
Well, this is Raider football. Look at, he stops, no false steps at all. When he plants that back foot, he is breaking on the football, and that is almost going the other way. Raiders football, my cornerback will take your wide receiver, and the other cornerback will take the other one, and we'll play 9-on-9 between the tackles, and we'll see if you can beat us. That's Raider football. And that's the defensive coordinator, Chuck Bresnahan. He fits into that philosophy just fine, thank you.
They'll be coming on the rush now. On 2nd down and 10, they bring up blitzers. Pavlak goes to John Alexander, and Alexander is cut down after a gain of only about a yard by William Thomas. In his 11th year, a former Pro Bowler with the Philadelphia Eagles, who a guy they say is as smart as there is at the position, diagnoses every play instantly.
Yeah, you can't fool him. I mean, that's the thing. You see Chuck Bresnahan there. He's got his own wristband. You see quarterbacks with that all the time, and he's got his play selection stuck in his belt there, and a wristband too. And that's a guy that is really into it defensively. He loves this defense.
Now they have Max Strong, the fullback, at the top of your screen as a wide receiver. Nobody in the backfield. It'll be a quick drop. Raiders might have left early as he's shooting over towards Max Strong.
Yeah, he threw that away. He knew the play was dead.
Gray might have moved. See what the call is.
This is one of the things, even though the Seahawks have struggled this year, this is one of the things a lot of teams will do on the road. The crowd is too noisy. They'll jump start it. And when you don't have much confidence, you're pressing a little bit. And little things like this happen. And these 5-yard penalties kill you.
Neutral zone infraction. Defensive man came into the neutral zone, caused the offense to false start. 5 yards against the defense. Repeat, third down.
Well, there you go. And that's a defender can jump all over. He can make you try and jump off, but as long as he stays out of the neutral zone, he's okay. Somebody jumped into the neutral zone, which caused.
That's why Chris Gray jumped, but it was
exactly right.
So that makes it third down now and 4 for the Seahawks at the 43-yard line of the Raiders. Hasselbeck looking much more confident this week. Dig down now. Hasselbeck stands in, and they'll sack him back at the 47-yard line. Charles Woodson, the lightning-quick blitzer from the cornerback position, comes in unblocked.
He did come in unblocked, and he is lightning fast, but he came in very late. It was delayed blitz. Watch here, the rushers come, and then watch, very late, Charles Woodson comes in from the outside. They didn't account for him, and because of his speed, he could wait and wait and wait, and then close fast enough to still make the play.
That brings up 4th down and 13, and so the Seahawks will have to punt the ball. Booming high punt, hit downfield, and Dunn fair catches the ball at his 13-yard line, and there the Raiders with a 7-0 lead will go back on offense. Tonight on CBS.
Well, in the first couple of series, the Raiders have come out on offense and thrown it all over the joint. I mean, they're really airing it out. They've only had 2 rushes and 10 passes. And that, I'm telling you right now, the Seahawks didn't expect that.
Now Mike Holmgren told us yesterday, Steve, he said we know they're going to try to run because they had in 2 games a combined 438 yards rushing last year against Seattle. Gannon takes a look. Sidearms the ball, and the tackle's quickly made by Chad Brown on Charlie Garner. Brown, a very good outside backer who already has 4 sacks this season, NFL leader.
He's one of the guys, those free agents that the Seahawks continue to bring in to bolster this defense. It's Rich Gannon finding a guy that is quickly becoming a go-to guy in this offense. The Raiders offensive coordinator, they love him. Gruden loves this guy. They can do a lot of things. As the first quarter ends, Raiders are throwing it all over the park and lead by a touchdown.
On the touchdown throw to Jerry Rice from Rich Gannon. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Raiders 7, Seattle nothing. Will return to Network Associates Coliseum right after this message.
This is pizza, just $8.99 every week this fall. Right now, it's the Big New Yorker pizza. It's humongous with tons of luscious cheese. Make it a supreme or specialty pizza for just 99 cents more. Beautiful. So feed your maid, chauffeur, and supermodel girlfriend for just $8.99. Can we eat in here? Only at Pizza Hut.
The CIA is willing to go anywhere.
It's your call.
Go! When innocent lives are in danger.
Nobody wants to see enriched uranium getting shipped to terrorists.
Now, more than ever.
When someone dies, I get a little obsessive.
America needs the unsung heroes.
We have a moral obligation to fight.
Of the agency. All new after CSI, CBS Thursday.
Raiders come out. 2nd down coming up. Gannon back to his 10. Heats on, and he gets rid of the ball, and very wisely gets it away for an incomplete pass. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker here at Network Associates Coliseum. The early return's not good for the Seahawks on the injury to Ricky Watters. Not looking like Ricky will be back with that sprained shoulder.
No, and that's crucial for the Seahawks offense. They're already struggling. Matt Hasselbeck needs all the help he can get. You take out a guy who's had a tremendous career. That's going to take another toll, and it's going to take, if he's not back soon, within a week or 2, this offense is going to go nowhere. They've got to convert on 3rd down. They've got to get first downs. And if they don't do that, this season is going to go downhill even faster than an 0-3 start.
But there's a long way to go in this Seahawk defense. They could be forcing some turnovers before this is over. Here is Gannon under the pressure. He throws to an open receiver. Crossing the field and running wide open is Jerry Porter, the second-year wideout from West Virginia, who breaks a big play of 21 yards out to the 40-yard line. First down, Raiders.
Jerry Porter, a guy who comes off the bench. You got Jerry Rice to worry about. You got Tim Brown to worry about. And Jerry Porter, who comes out, and this guy's big. Jerry Porter is a big wide receiver. He's 6'2", 220. In fact, I thought he was a tight end when I watched him practice the other day. They still want more from him. He's still learning the game, but, you know, they've got so many weapons offensively, and Rich Gannon is the perfect guy to find all of them.
Gannon searches out everybody. A guy who truly gets better with age. Here's a great play fake, and they hand off. And Jerry Porter's the man again. Jerry Porter, a big wide receiver at 6'2", 220. And he has got straight line speed. Not yet a polished receiver, but he can go when he gets the ball. That one's good for 13 yards. 34 yards from Porter on the last two plays.
Where you see him, and I'm telling you, 6'2", 220. He looks bigger than that. I mean, you and I both were astounded at how big. He's an H-back type of guy, and a great compliment for the two Hall of Famers they've got in there right now.
The Raiders have always loved speed. That is Tim Brown, who still has speed, even in his advanced part of his career, 13th year. The Raiders go to the run, and Tyrone Wheatley busts it right at the Seahawk defense. And he's ahead for a gain of 9 yards.
Well, you knew it was going to happen at some point. They were the #1 rushing team in the league a year ago. You knew Tyrone Wheatley come in, and sooner or later you're going to get one between the tackles, and here it comes. The offensive line of the Raiders without their great center Barrett Robbins, Adam True in there in place of him and getting it done. Tyrone Wheatley, a guy who can really carry a lot of balls during the game.
And up again as he gets the ball again, and this is Garner who breaks it. Man, he's got a motor. Charlie Garner, not big at 5'10", 195, rips it right at the Hawks, but there is a penalty marker down.
You know how often you see it, Don, where you soften them up with the run, then go to the pass, and today they come out and they throw it as a hold penalty is called. They come out and throw it around and then come back and just start pounding between the tackles.
Holding number 86, offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Roland Williams called on the hold. There's John Gruden. Now you got to go back to the 1st and 10, and it's going to be, what are they showing there? It's going to be about 2nd and 8 there.
Gannon had a phenomenal record, particularly at home last year. He's one of the top-rated quarterbacks in football. Had 19 touchdown throws in this stadium last season, only 4 interceptions. Timing throw again. He waits for a receiver to clear. Wheatley fumbles it, but out of bounds. A penalty marker came out, and then they didn't throw it.
Well, he was trying to get his beanbag out. Wheatley fumbled that as he went out of bounds.
The beanbag spotting with the ball's down.
Exactly. Anthony Simmons pushing him out of bounds there. Watch here. Gannon has the slant to Rice, then goes to the flat as Wheatley comes open. You'll watch. Here's the ball will pop out of bounds. And there the official will reach and just mark it as a fumble.
Tyrone Wheatley, another of the projects, if you will, at the Raiders. He was a former #1 draft choice of the Giants, did little. Went down to Miami. Jimmy Johnson looked at him 3 days in practice and caught him outright. So he was a street free agent. He came in here and has been terrific. He had over 1,000 yards last year.
He's one of those guys that needs a complimentary guy. Napoleon Kaufman was it last year. Charlie Garner is him this year.
And Gannon again sees a defensive set that throws him while he's deep into the play count. He calls timeout.
The day has ended. Amber blends to twilight blue. The world softens a bit around the edges. You release all the cares of the day, and nothing else in the world matters. Bella Sera Pinot Grigio. It's going to be a beautiful evening. Or as they say in Italian, it's going to be a bella sera.
Just push me. NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 regular season games every Sunday, and it's not on cable. Now get our best programming package free for 4 months, plus free installation.
Hey! CBS Thursday. A college co-ed is missing.
The more time goes by, the less chance we have of finding this girl.
Every suspect. We were
Physical.
amorous. Every clue
Found some blood.
leads to a dead end. We dare you to solve this one before CSI does.
We're losing her.
All new CSI, CBS Thursday.
Just a bit earlier, Mike Holmgren looking for an explanation from the referee, Ron Blum. Right now, it is 2nd down, 1 to go. For the Raiders, just outside the 35-yard line. Handoff, and Zach Crockett bangs at the Seahawk defense, but there's a marker down again.
All of a sudden, the officials are throwing flags every play.
Raiders have many times led the league in penalties.
Before the ball was snapped, ball start. 25 offense. 5 yards. Repeat 2nd down.
They've also won Super Bowls in years they've led the league in
That's
penalties.
exactly right. You know, you always
Whatever works.
You got to have a certain number of players on your team that are out there to play, not really think about it, just go out and play, and that's when you run into high penalty counts. And that John Gruden, always the game face.
He coached under Mike Holmgren for 3 years at Green Bay, did John Gruden. 2nd down. Out pattern. Garner. They catch him and hold on. Making the play was Marcus Bell. Tonight on 60 Minutes, how prepared are we for a biological or chemical attack? Let the man who briefs the president brief you. It's tonight on 60 Minutes. Big Mike Holmgren pacing the sidelines. Temperature up here in the press box is in the mid-70s, but I tell you, we were down that field, Steve. It's probably mid-90s.
It's a factor for the coaches more than it is for the players on the field, though.
On 3rd down and 3, Gannon gets a lot of time. Now he's running out of it. He throws the ball, and his receiver slips. Lamar King, big pass rusher coming at him. He was going to John Ritchie with the throw.
As Rich Gannon went back, Lamar King just absolutely sidestepped the block from Tyrone Wheatley and came free right into Gannon's face, and all he could do is just try and get it out there.
And Charlie Rogers, number 20, one of the best, goes back anticipating the punt. There's Charlie of Shane Leckler, who's been a terrific punter in his 2nd year at Texas A&M, averaging over 48 yards a punt for the Raiders, almost 36 yards net. Angles it near side. Rogers comes up on him, dodges the first guy, fumbles the ball. And who's got it? The Raiders do. A critical turnover. Rogers coughs it up, and the Raiders come up with the ball.
Shane Leckler punts this ball. It's a very short, very soft punt.
Nobody hit him.
No, it just comes. Well, watch here as he pops up. And right there, as they go by, you reach across, trying to make the tackle, get the ball, and that's it. Huge mistake by Charlie Rogers. Watch here. You see the fumble caused by Eric Barton, the linebacker.
That used to be the business you were in, huh?
And that's it.
What do you do, punches the ball?
Exactly right. Just lay across. The first thing you're thinking about is the tackle. But always try and tackle the football. Forget about the guy.
1st and 10 Raiders. Gannon. Flat throw. A hard hit put on as the tight end comes down with the ball. Roland Williams in his 4th year from Syracuse. Willie Williams back in the lineup at starting cornerback, number 27.
They struggled a little bit outside last week, did the Seahawks. Willie Williams gives them some added veteran leadership back in the lineup. That's the starting corner, and that's the kind of play you expect a starting corner to make. They didn't get those last week against Philadelphia.
Willie is still playing with a cast on his, what was a broken left arm. Still got some pop, though, with that right one. 2nd down and 6. Gannon throws, and he's almost picked off. A big Chad Eaton. Penalty markers down.
A late flag in the pocket.
That's holding against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Steve, how about this baseball infield? How much does that affect play?
You know, you don't even think about it until you start having to play on it, and there's a good stretch.
Holding. 76 offense. 10 yards. Repeat second down.
The only people it really affects are the skill guys. The offensive lineman, it doesn't bother. But the wide receiver, you'll see here right in the middle of your screen, 62 there, Adam True, and right there, that's Steve Wisniewski, the great left guard working against a great defensive tackler in John Randall, trying to make it, keep him safe there in Rich Gannon. But yeah, the dirt doesn't make that much difference, Don. It does to guys like Jerry Rice and Tim Brown.
So you slip on it. Here's Gannon taking a look at the end zone, firing hard, and he drills it inside the 10-yard line to Jerry Rice for 20 yards and a first down. First and goal, Raiders. And Lucas, the rookie, victimized.
If you want to send a guy to the Pro Bowl, give him this kind of time. After the holding call, the offensive line comes through in a big way. Rich Gannon could eat a sandwich back there, and these are the two guys he's throwing to. Look at the number of yards, the touchdowns, those numbers, the little first right there, that's NFL history, and Tim Brown's not too far behind.
It's unbelievable. Between them, almost 2,100 catches. Numbers are mind-boggling. They just become enormous boxcar numbers. Here is Garner cutting back, and Charlie Garner takes it to the 5-yard line like a bolt of lightning. He really has that great change of speed and cutback move.
When you get down to this part of the field, and the Oakland Raiders are very good at this, their running game is tailored to run between the tackles, and Charlie Garner and Tyrone Wheatley are specialists at it. Garner gets in there, he ducks down, he's not that tall, but he runs sideways. He can cut and continue to accelerate through the cut in traffic, and it's very difficult to find him in that traffic inside that small box between the tackles. But the Raiders do that so well.
Right now, they're looking to capitalize on the turnover of the Raiders. Charlie Rogers fumbling a punt return. On second down, the give is to Garner, and he drives into tacklers. A lot of pop for a 195-pounder. He drives back 275-pound Levon Kirkland, the middle backer.
Don, you want to get an idea of what it's like down there. This is where, the old saying, this is where the rubber meets the road. You don't have any ground to give as a defense, and if you talk to any offensive coordinator in the league, they say, when you get down here, you gotta run the football. If the defense thinks you're gonna run the football and you can, then everything else opens up. But if they don't believe you can run it, you'll never score.
They sure ran it last year in beating the Hawks twice. Now they're going to power football. Third down and goal from the 2. Gannon, fade pattern to the end zone. And good defense as the center receiver, Jerry Porter, is screened away from the ball by the rookie Ken Lucas.
And we mentioned a moment ago, Jerry Porter's the big receiver working against the rookie cornerback. They wanted to throw it up for a jump ball and let him just out-physical the defensive back. You see there, Jerry Lucas, and to me, you're supposed to look for the football. He looked very late. There's no call.
Now a 20-yard field goal by Janikowski, who's been 7 of 7. He's hit them all this year. And he does again, but it's a stop really for the Seahawks. They stopped the touchdown. Raiders don't have a rushing touchdown this season. In this game, they now have a 10-0 lead.
Test your market IQ. Fill in the blank. S and blank 500. Time's up. If you said the letter P, you're savvy enough to invest in Spiders. Spiders works like an S&P 500 index fund and trade just like stocks, with very low fees and taxes. How smart is that? Call 1-800-TMX.
The long jump. The dash. Life is like a sport, and your feet take the impact hard. But new Stride Guard insoles absorb 50% more heel impact than these Dr. Scholl's. Take more impact in stride. New Stride Guard insoles.
Right now, when you buy any 4 Michelin tires, get a pair of Motorola Talkabout two-way radios free during Michelin's Make Contact event. They're great for road trips, on the slopes, or for keeping track of the kids. So make contact now at your participating Michelin dealer.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. The makers of Lamasil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot. And by Coors Light, proud partner of the John Wayne Cancer Institute and their search for a cure.
England's looking good on the Bay, and for the Raiders also on their home field as they now extend to a 10-0 lead on the field goal by Janikowski from 20 yards out. He hits the kickoff. Rodgers is the guy who fumbled the punt, and the last time he touched it, takes it back, turns it outside, crosses the 15 and gets out close to the 24-yard line. So Charlie Rodgers out of Georgia Tech gets downfield. And Rich Gannon checks some things out as the Seahawks will go on offense.
When you're ready for a cold one, it's gotta be a cold Coors Light. When you're ready for a cold one, it's gotta be a cold Coors Light. When you're ready for a cold one, a Rocky Mountain cold one.
There's cold, and then there's Coors Light. Frost brewed for that Rocky Mountain cold taste.
When you're ready for a cold one, it's gotta be a cold Coors Light.
It's here, kids!
I think it's too big, Dad.
Like to know exactly what you're getting before you buy it? Go to BestBuy.com and research everything before you go to the store. That way, you'll get what's right for you. Best Buy. Go ahead. Turn on the fun.
You have one new message.
John, it's Bob. I tried tracking you down everywhere, so I'm leaving this on your cell phone. Look, about your merger meeting this morning, whatever you do, avoid the boardroom. I was talking to maintenance, and they just lacquered the table, and it needs 24 hours to dry. Man, I hope you get this.
With ordinary cell phones, you leave messages, but with Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio, you get right through.
Tonight, see the show critics call the smartest drama this side of the West Wing.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Richard Dreyfuss stars in The Education of Max Bickford, CBS tonight.
Al Davis, the man who runs the Raiders, talking to Al on the field before the game. He said, we got to win. Played well last week at Miami. That's not good enough. You got to win. Just win, baby, the mantra for the Raiders over the years. A team that won 3 Super Bowls. Eric Barton comes on a rush. Coming up next on the Nextel Halftime Report, we'll be joining Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights and the latest NFL news, plus a CBS News update. America fights back. Right now, second down arises for the Seahawks without their best offensive weapon, Ricky Watters. He went out in the first quarter with a bruised shoulder. Here is Sean Alexander, the young runner, going hard out of Alabama, and he loses the ball, and here come the Raiders. It's a live play. This is Eric Allen. He's going in. So another turnover, maybe an early knockout punch. A 25-yard return by Eric Allen.
And there are no flags. There's a player down, a Raider down over on the 25, but there are no flags. The Seahawks are reeling at the moment. Before this last offensive series, the Raiders had 11 plays and had the ball forever. The offense can't get in the rhythm if they can't get on the field, and here's the play. The ball pops out. You see there's the reaction of the players. Eric Allen alertly picks it up and runs in. Nobody's there. And the Raider on the far side still down.
Raiders so tough to beat here. That's good to see Alexander's up and all right. Raiders last season lost their home opener to Denver, then won 7 straight home games, then a playoff game against Miami before losing to Baltimore in the playoffs. Again, was phenomenal, particularly on the home field, and now the Raiders look to build their lead to 17-0.
Well, they've gotten a big play on their special teams with a turnover. Now, offensively, or defensively, the Raiders have also come up with a huge turnover.
Janikowski, who's not missed a kick this season, drives it through. 17-0 Raiders. The Raiders will kick off when we come back to Oakland.
Give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. Whisper of how I'm yearning to mingle with the old-time throng. Give my regards to old Broadway and say that we'll be back before long.
Monday, what happens when laser surgery goes wrong?
Why didn't you get her the foot massager?
I decided to blind her instead.
The King of Queens, then pump up.
I think I might start lifting some weights.
With Yes Dears. Next, how will Raymond solve a little bedroom problem?
Are you swingers?
You just asked if I was a wife swapper.
Now there's an idea.
And Rhea Perlman guests on the season premiere of Becker.
I am not as angry as you.
Yes, you are.
I am not as angry as you are.
All new comedy, CBS Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Switchboard.com. Find what you're looking for on Switchboard.com. It's the Yellow Pages, Electrify, and by Miller High Life.
Back to Oakland. 2 fumbles by the Seahawks have led to 10 Oakland points. Charlie Rogers fumbled a punt return. And then it was a fumble by Sean Alexander that led to that last score, and it's 17-0. Here's the ball, hit downfield. Rogers, he's consistent bringing it out from his end zone. He's not yet gotten to the 20, and he won't again. And that paid him to take down the ball, I guess, Steve, huh? For the best NFL info on the net, including expert analysis and in-depth team reports, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline.
Don, in the NFL, if you're going to go on the road and fumble the ball, you may as well just chalk it up as a loss because it doesn't work that way. You come into a team, into a stadium like the Raiders have here, it's a home field advantage already. And when you cough the ball up, you dig yourself a hole that you just can't climb out of.
Mike Holmgren looking for answers. Waters out with a shoulder injury. Now Hasselbeck's going to have to start firing. He does on first down, stepping up. There's a throw, and he gets it out. Taken in beautifully by Christian Fourier.
As around the National Football League today, there was Sunday's heroes. Antoine Smith for New England. 22 rushes for 94 yards and a big win for them.
Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, the former Buffalo Bill.
Kurt Warner having a big day as the Rams blow out the Dolphins 42-10. And Trent Green, a new Kansas City Chief, as they get their first win.
Jerome Bettis for 114 yards in Buffalo as they take it to the Bills.
Over the middle again, they go to Fourier. As all of a sudden Holmgren, getting information surely from upstairs, Steve, decides to get the ball inside more on the passing game to the tight end, 9-yard gain.
Well, he's got no choice. Ricky Waters is sitting on the bench next to him. He hands it off to the next guy, Sean Alexander, and he promptly coughs it up into the hands of Eric Allen, who runs it in for a touchdown. He's telling Matt Hasselbeck right here, drop back, throw it to the first guy you see, let's move the football. You can sense now that there is a little more urgency in the Seahawk offense.
Hasselbeck has been sacked twice. Here comes another rush. Again, he steps in, fires to the flat. And the coverage is good. Torrey James was on the rookie Corin Robinson, who has 2 catches today. A quick adjustment of the footwear.
There, right as he planted to throw that ball, his foot came out of the shoe, and that ball goes wobbling off into the sidelines. Watch as he drops back. He plants, his foot comes out. He can't He can't plant with no cleat. That'll cause you to miss a throw once in a while.
Hasselbeck comes in with a quarterback rating of under 47 as they've struggled the first two games, although they are 1-1. They won at Cleveland on a field goal game 9-6 on opening day. And the Hawks were beaten at home by the Eagles last week. On 2nd and 10, a timing throw. It's connected to the tight end. And Fourier drives ahead for a first down. And a penalty marker's down in the backfield. Personal foul. Roughing the passer against the Raiders.
One of the things that happened last week is you see Ricky Waters on the sideline. The Raiders got into Miami, and once they got up on Miami, a good defensive team.
Roughing the passer, 53 defense, 15 yards, first down.
That was on Travion Smith, the linebacker, the personal foul. You'll see it here. But this defense of the Raiders went into Miami, and that's a kind of an iffy call, please. But they just kind of folded their tents up defensively. They lost that game last week. They didn't get beat. They lost it. And I think you'll find that repeated throughout their locker room. They let the fish off the hook, as John Gruden told us the other day. But they don't want to fall into that trap today, up 17 points.
Hasselbeck now, though, has him in a good field position. The beneficiaries of the personal foul call. Hasselbeck looks. And does he get the ball away? They're going to rule it incomplete. Here's another penalty marker down.
Incomplete pass to begin with, in a late flag. Hasselbeck was wrapped up in the pocket trying to throw it, then got hit again as the ball popped out.
Well, he was trying to bring it forward, I think.
Oh, yeah, that was an incomplete pass, no question about it. And then there was a late flag at the recovery when you see there Greg Beaker tried to cover that ball up as if it were a fumble, and he got jacked.
Personal foul this time is signaled against the Seahawks.
Quarterback was in the grasp here. The play is ruled dead here. Personal foul. 61 offense. 15 yards.
Robbie Toback, the center.
Yeah, he continued on with the play, and the officials felt like they had already blown the whistle. And Toback came in and gave Greg Beaker an extra shot after the incomplete pass. But the sack collapsed. Watch it. Hasselbeck gets there. You see there over the top of the offensive lineman hanging on. That's Rod Coleman there, and Trace Armstrong at the end.
So now it is very difficult down in yardage as the ball is set back to the 43-yard line of Seattle. It will be first down, a loss of 20 yards all total on that play.
It's
like
first and 29 or something like that.
Yeah, about first and 30. Oh, yeah, about first and 29 when they have it spotted.
First in a sandwich.
Here is Hasselbeck now looking for the play. All the plays come in from Mike Holmgren.
Now, right now, you're not thinking about trying to get a first down. You're trying to just knock it down to where you can get to third and something. Right there, Matt Hasselbeck sacked 3 times, hurried twice, knocked down 7 times today. Now, you can say what you want about how good a quarterback Matt Hasselbeck is, but I think you got to say something about how bad his offensive line is playing in front of him.
Well, there's a lot of high draft choices. Walter Jones, the left tackle of the Seahawks, has been to the Pro Bowl in '99. Steve Hutchinson, the left guard out of Michigan, was their #1 draft choice this year, and Holmgren says flatly he will be a great player.
You got to think, I mean, Matt Hasselbeck, we haven't seen him hanging on to the football at all. I mean, he's been getting rid of it. He has not hung on to the football. He's been trying to go through his reads and has not had time to do it when things have gone bad. And there's Chuck Bresnahan, the defensive coordinator, once again. That's, defensive coordinators love first and 29s.
Yeah, they're calling it the first and 30 where they have a position. A little problem with the game clock. Now that is straightened out, and so Hasselbeck against the all-out rush of the Raiders, ready to throw the ball. Swings it out near side. This is Sean Alexander. Last time he had it, he fumbled it, protects the ball, and he gets out to the 48-yard line where Reagan Upshaw gets him down after a gain of 6 yards.
In this Raiders defense, you see when Sean Alexander catches it, he's got a lot of space to work, but the speed of the Raider defense just closes so fast. All of a sudden, there are 3 guys there, and that's what happens when you play a team that takes pride in its defense. They draft for speed, for speed, for speed. They've got great cornerbacks that can close, and it shows The guy may be open for a minute, but it doesn't last.
No, it's a very aggressive attacking defense the Raiders employ. Second down and 24. Here's the throw as Hasselbeck is hit just as he releases the ball. They come on a strong safety blitz with number 23, Marquez Pope.
Don, that's why you hope Matt Hasselbeck can finish this season. Watch Marquez Pope, bang! Goes for the arm, tries to make a bad throw. This ball is up fluttering into the secondary. That's what you want in a safety. You want a guy that when he gets a chance to make a tackle or to rush the passer, he makes it count. And Marquez Pope came from nowhere right into Hasselbeck's face.
Hit him hard. Worst case scenario for the Seahawks without their great runner Waters with a shoulder injury. Down by 17, they've got to throw, and look at that throw downfield as the ball is completed to Bobby Ingram. Corey James and Charles Woodson knock him out of bounds. It is a 16-yard game, but that still brings up long yardage.
That shows you something. Matt Hasselbeck got hit in the mouth a play ago, comes back, stands in, and gets this ball out to Ingram right there, working on Torrey James. Great route, and that's a heck of a throw after just getting your head taken off in a blitz.
It was. John Gruden saying this is a league where you don't set long-term goals and you don't think about yesterday. You better focus on right now or you'll get your bell rung.
Exactly right. This is a long field goal attempt here.
53 yards. Ball is on the way, and it is no good. So Ryan Lindell, who's hit 4 or 5 field goals this season, and he hit his only 50-yard try, misses that time from 53. Raiders getting ready to take over the ball. Monday on CBS, it's an all-new night of comedy, starting with The King of Queens, followed by Yes Dear. Then it's Monday's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond, back and better than ever. And then there's the season premiere of Becker, followed by an all-new Family Law. It's all here Monday on CBS.
There's Lindell, and you can chalk up that attempt to the good play that Matt Hasselbeck made to get him into field goal range. It was a long attempt, but they had no chance 2 plays before that, and Rich Gannon's tearing it up.
Rich Gannon, a very confident guy. Had his trade a long time. Fires the ball downfield. The first catch of the day for Tim Brown, his 12th catch of the year. It's good for 19 yards and a Raider first down.
All right, I'll tell you what. Timmy Brown came back, and they talked about this off the field. Watch as Tim Brown comes off. He's not trying to go deep. Watch, he's looking back. He's waiting. He wants to stop right there. He knows that pass is coming behind him. That's a thing where the receiver comes back and says, hey, we can get him on the short comeback. If you just throw it behind me on the go route, I got it.
Takes a well-thrown ball, though, and it was right where it had to be.
It takes some experience at receiver to call that, too.
Gannon in his 14th year stands in again. He's got time. Sidearms the ball. Tyrone Wheatley breaks it inside the 30. He's down close to the 28-yard line. Levon Kirkland gets him out of bounds, but he does it 11 yards downfield. First down Raiders. 3:02 left to play. First half.
You see Tyrone Wheatley come out here running to the sideline. And that's Levon Kirkland. One of the things that teams think, if Levon Kirkland, who is really built like, caught the ball and made him pay.
Wheatley, a power back with speed. Coming off his best season. Hand off. Here is Garner, so very quick. Charlie Garner breaking tackles and taking it inside the 15-yard line. Reggie Tung, the strong safety, finally got him out of bounds, but Garner with all those change of pace moves. And then acceleration as he runs ahead for a gain of 13 yards.
Well, the Seattle Seahawks defense has improved from a year ago, but I'll tell you what, they don't look like it today. The Raiders are absolutely dictating everything that happens on this side of the football. Charlie Garner's catching it. He's running with it. Tyrone Wheatley's doing the same, and Rich Gannon is finding the wide receivers and spreading it around. They look so smooth today.
This is the Raiders' last game for a couple of weeks. They have the bye week coming up, and then they go to Indianapolis. Oh, almost a pick by Levon Kirkland. As the sidearm pass caroms off the arms of Charlie Garner. Big Levon Kirkland, a longtime Steeler, 9 years with the Steelers, who said yesterday to us, we think we're going to win this game.
Yeah, they really do. They come in every week thinking they're going to win, but this Rich Gannon here, as he's going to come to the 2-minute warning, everything's being dictated by the guys in the black jerseys right now.
2 minutes to go in the first half.
Where's my butcher?
And where is my baker?
Where's my wax-fingered candlestick maker?
Where is my lawnmower?
And where's my blender?
Where is my outdated, chrome-plated, used car fender?
Where is my mover? Where's my shaker? Where is my tawny,
brawny,
leaf raker?
Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it on Switchboard.com. The free online yellow pages with businesses, people, and products nationwide. Even links to websites and more. Switchboard.com. It's the yellow pages electrified.
That bolt was torqued on in Detroit. There's no shame in using the hot wrench to get it apart. But what if you're out of acetylene? There's still a last resort they call the cold wrench. Promise yourself a taste of the high life and see if you don't find new strength to get to Miller time.
The search for a missing Marine is about to become JAG's most baffling case.
Do you believe Major Holmes would kill himself?
All new JAG, CBS Tuesday.
Coming up on the Nextel Halftime Report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights and the latest NFL news. Plus a CBS News update, America Fights Back. Steve, when Mike Holmgren takes his team to the locker room, you got to go to the drawing board. How do you come back in this?
Well, you just got to focus on getting better and maintaining. You got to make sure you win every play. Don't think about the big picture. Just win the play that you're going to snap next.
Right now, it's the Raiders snapping next on 2nd down and 10. Gruden sidearms the ball, and Jerry Rice has his second touchdown of the Raiders. 14-yarder. And Mike Holmgren seems to come apart again as the rookie corner. Ken Lucas, who they say has a chance to be terrific, but not yet.
Well, you got a first-year quarterback, and the good news is if you're that kid, you know, if you're Ken Lucas, you think, all right, I'm playing in the NFL. The bad news is you line up one-on-one with Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice running the slant, and Ken Lucas is just outmatched. Jerry Rice in that offense, it's over.
Extra point is slammed up and through. And so the Raiders, on a big day in Oakland, build a 24-0 lead. They'll kick off again in a moment.
Spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe.
All around the world, Siemens is energizing the cities and towns we live in. We engineer new ways to efficiently generate, distribute, and use power. And by providing energy to people everywhere, we're giving them the power to live better.
Spin, spin, spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe.
Monday, what happens when laser surgery goes wrong?
Why didn't you get her the foot massager?
I decided to blind her instead.
The King of Queens, then pump up.
I think I might start lifting some weights.
With Yes Dears. Next, how will Raymond solve a little bedroom problem?
Are you swingers?
You just asked if I was a wife swamper.
Now there's an idea.
And Rhea Perlman guests on the season premiere of Becker.
I am not as angry as you.
Yes, you are.
I am not as angry as you are.
All new comedy, CBS Monday.
Jerry Rice having another good day. He's had 17 seasons of good days. Here is the kickoff return, and man, Rodgers comes up the middle, and he is driven back on a driving hit. And coming out to get him is Travian Smith, the backup linebacker, 53.
The Raiders have dominated on all three sides of the ball, and Jerry Rice is a beneficiary of that. 2 touchdowns today, 5 receptions. The first week, Jerry Rice, Tim Brown both had 8 catches. Last week, Tim Brown had 3. Jerry had 1. And they're back in the saddle today.
And interesting, Steve, you know, Mike Holmgren, all the coaches for the Seahawks, Steve Sidwell, the defensive coordinator, they said, we know they're going to run it at us. Well, the Oakland Raiders have only run the ball 8 times in this game. They've thrown it 23 times. And the Gannons hit 15 of 23 for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's a good Jerry Rice. I'm sorry, Don. That's a good game plan to come in and do exactly the opposite of what they expect.
It's been a great game plan. Here's another blitz. They get Hasselbeck, and that is Woodson. 3rd sack of Hasselbeck as Woodson gets his 2nd. The great one from Michigan, who many feel is emerging as the best cornerback in the NFL.
Well, he's certainly up there, and that's his goal for the year. He wants to be the best. He wants people to talk about him as being the guy. You see there, that's the same spot that Marquez Pope got a good hit on Hasselbeck a moment ago. They just ran it with a different guy, and Woodson, they say, has really applied himself. This is his year to emerge, and he's done everything he can to make it happen.
Officially, he's only credited with 1 sack, but he's been in there 3 times on cornerback blitzes. Timing throw, nicely done as the ball is triggered out on a slant pattern to Bobby Ingram, and he is out across the 25-yard line for a gain of 9 yards on the play, but it was on a 2nd and 16, so it's now 3rd and 7. There is Trent Dilfer, who quarterbacked the Ravens to a Super Bowl championship, and then they thanked him by waving him.
Yes, thanks for your years of service. Goodbye.
There is Dilfer. Says he wants to have his greatest season, the greatest year of his life for the Seahawks, but he's not been on the field yet. But I don't know if anybody quarterback can do anything with his all-out blitz coming through.
Well, there was some controversy in Seattle last week when the fans, when Hasselbeck struggled, they were chanting for Dilfer, and obviously a lot was made of the fact that Mike Holmgren came to the defense of his young quarterback, Hasselbeck, and said, hey, you're the guy and you're going to stay in there.
Hasselbeck and Dilfer, that's comforting to have a guy with that much experience. Jim Zorn is in the green shirt. He's the former Seahawks standout, the quarterback coach. Trent Dilfer, #1 draft choice of Tampa Bay back in '94, the 6th pick overall out of Fresno State. 6 seasons there.
You got to tip your hat to him. I mean, this is a guy that came out as a very highly touted rookie and struggled in Tampa Bay and has struggled since. But you know what? He's hung with it. He got a ring in Baltimore. He is what he is. He doesn't make any apologies for it. He doesn't have anything left to prove. He quarterbacked a Super Bowl team. And I think he's the perfect guy to sit there and watch Matt Hasselbeck and help him develop.
3rd down comes up. 3rd down and 6 where it's spotted. Here's a throw near side and very nearly another pick. As Robinson, the rookie, had it skip off his hands, and Torrey James was right there but couldn't hold on.
Well, this will make your heart jump a beat if you're a quarterback. You throw this right out here and have your receiver just pop it, and it pops almost right into his hands. How do you miss that? And he ends up on the ground once again, does Hasselbeck.
And again, the Seahawks call on their punter, Jeff Fiegels. With just 50 seconds to play now in the first half. The Raiders with a commanding 24-0 lead. Ball hit downfield. Taken straight ahead to the 40-yard line. Mazovinsky again comes down and makes a hard hit. And so the Raiders go on offense again. Saturday we have doubleheader action in the Southeastern Conference as the Georgia Bulldogs head into Rocky Top to meet Casey Clausen and the Tennessee Volunteers. Then the sensational receiver Jabbar Gaffney and the Florida Gators go against Rohan Davey and the LSU Tigers. For more college football news, go to cbs.sportsline.com. AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. Grossman, the quarterback for Florida, is emerging as a great player. 3 straight 300-plus yard passing days. Truly tore up Mississippi State yesterday as the Gators won 52-0. Sidearm throw, a thing of beauty, right on target. And ahead, the reception's good for a 7-yard gain to Randy Jordan, number 28, coming out of the backfield.
Now he's going to, again, he's giving the signal to spike it, and he takes the shot down the field. That's a good play. Can't get out of bounds, though, can't Tim Brown. Now they take the timeout. This is 2 minutes. This is less than a minute to go here. 16 seconds left. What they're thinking now is perhaps getting close enough for a field goal.
Mike Holmgren takes off the headset as we see the Seattle Seahawks still have not scored a touchdown in almost 10 quarters of football this season.
And they're looking at not getting out of their own end in the second half. The Raiders have blitzed them mercilessly now that they've got the big lead. And Ricky Waters is out of the game. They've got no reason to lay back. Matt Hasselbeck's going to be on the ground more than a garden rake.
You know, it's not Matt's fault. I mean, Matt Hasselbeck is, when he's had some time, he's completed 10 of 18 for 113 yards.
He's absolutely getting pounded in there, and they are blitzing him out, and that's one of the things you do to a young quarterback. You blitz him a lot, and Matt Hasselbeck right now has no place to go with the football.
Raiders do, though. Gannon looking deep, steps up in, shuffles it ahead, and it's incomplete. Is it a fumble? It is. It's a turnover, and the Seahawks get the ball, but there's only 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left to go, and the Seahawks do have 2 timeouts.
And Chalky, there's a good pass rush by the Seahawks with their front 4. John Randall coming right up on the spin move on Wisniewski. Gets through, and that ball is fumbled. That's a good play by John Randall. Making that play, giving his team a chance maybe to get one play and then try the field goal or go for broke in a Hail Mary pass.
Well, with 2 timeouts, he's got a chance to use the whole field on a pass play down and try to set up a long field goal. There's John Gruden, one of the 50 most beautiful people.
Yeah.
According to People magazine.
His players were teasing him about being in the top 50. He said, "Don't tease me. I'd have been in the top 10 if it weren't hanging around with you guys."
Right. They tell him, hey, he was in the top 50 because of them, and he said, no. I'd be top 10 without you guys. He's got that scowl in mid-season form.
And now this is under review. This is from upstairs in the officials booth. They're the ones who called for this review.
Last 2 minutes of a half. It's out of the coach's hands to call for a replay.
Now watch right here as he steps up. John Randall right to the right of him will come around and slap the ball. Oh, that's a fumble. There's no question about it. They allow him 90 seconds. Once he looks into the visor, that you'll see he has 90 seconds to make his decision. This should take all of about 3. That ball's out before Rich Gannon even brings his arm back.
Great second look. Our director today, Kathy Barretto, our producer, Jim Rickoff, the executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Terry Ewert. As Ron Blum goes over, checks it out, but it did indeed look like a fumble.
I don't know how long he's going to look at it.
Hasselbeck, 10 of 18 for 113 yards. If
this is
Seahawks do get the ball, Steve, they're going to try maybe a deep out.
Right. This is the thing where John Gruden's had a great first half as a head coach. He's thinking, how can, why does this have to happen right before we go in?
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It is a fumble. First down, Seattle.
And that's the proper call.
No, but with just 10 seconds left, Hasselbeck sends out wide receivers, double sets to each side. They're keeping one guy in, though, as these blitzers have been tearing at him. You got to keep a blocker in. Hasselbeck stands in. And the incomplete pass comes with 5 seconds left. Trace Armstrong, and they were worried about him. He comes hard again.
And they had 2 guys on him. They had 2 guys trying to block Trace Armstrong. He did the up and under move and came through. And Mike Holmgren can't be happy about that. You assign 2 guys to back in the tackle to block Trace Armstrong. Neither one of them gets it done, and they end up throwing a meaningless pass into the dirt. That guy they brought over from the Miami Dolphins led the league in sacks a year ago as a specialist. Didn't play all that much. Was not an every down player. And that's exactly what the Raiders need. They need a role player to get in there, put some pressure on the passer.
He's strictly a situational player, but what a pass rusher. 16.5 sacks last season. Throw and a catch. And Ingram takes it down. And did they get the timeout called? Looks like they got a second left.
No,
well, let's see.
There's some controversy.
The Raiders are leaving. Seahawks are hoping.
Timeout with 1 second left on the clock.
The Raiders have to come back.
They're going to call back now.
The clock running out. The Seattle timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
Now that's a 1 second on the clock, and it looked like they got a call. Watch. We'll get a look here, see if the clock does run out before the play is called. Watch here.
Be a long field goal attempt over 50 yards.
You see there, the players will start calling timeout before the play's even dead. There he is. Yeah, he's got his arms up. That was a good call. 1 second left.
So here's Ryan Lindell, field goal kicker from Washington State. Signed after 4 games last season and had a great year. Hit 15 of 17.
This is going to be a 55-yarder, maybe a 56-yarder.
Probably missing one long one today from 53 yards out.
I don't think he's got the leg for this, Don. This is just a wing and a prayer. You just hope as a Seahawk you don't want this blocked.
Well, he hit a 51-yarder on opening day to win at Cleveland 9-6. This is 55 yards. Ball's on the way. He spins it up, and it's not going to get there.
Not off the dirt, Don.
Makes a difference, huh? That's the end of the first half with the score. Oakland 24, Seattle nothing. Coming up next is the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
Meet the new survivors. Linda, the career counselor. Lex, the marketing manager.
Everyone's going to be cutthroat.
Survivor Africa premieres CBS Thursday, October 11th. Get set for the amazing race Wednesday on CBS. It's all here.
If your hair is thinning, call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now for this free booklet. The Hair Loss Resource Center, giving you the information you need to make an educated decision on hair loss. Whether you're just starting to thin or experiencing advanced hair loss, Hair Club has an option that's right for you. Hair Club, the answers you've been waiting for.
At GMC, our engineers have been designing trucks exclusively for 100 years. Now, we want to help keep America rolling with interest-free financing on all GMC trucks, vans, and SUVs. The power of Sierra, the agility of Yukon, the comfort and luxury of Envoy. Every new GMC comes with 0% APR through October 31st. Upgrade to professional grade and help keep America rolling. See the pros at your local GMC dealer.
Going without. Something fewer are coping with, thanks to Oregon Food Bank and support from the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde and Spirit Mountain Community Fund.
This is a CBS News update. America fights back. John Roberts reporting. Good day. The Taliban said today Osama bin Laden is being kept at a secret location for his own safety and that he is under Taliban control. The White House rejected another Taliban offer to negotiate. A UN border camp in Pakistan is beginning to fill up with refugees from Afghanistan. Attorney General John Ashcroft today told CBS News that Americans are at risk of new terror attacks.
We think that there is a very serious threat of additional problems now, and frankly, as the United States responds, that threat may escalate.
And Health and Human Services Secretary Tommy Thompson told tonight's 60 Minutes the United States is prepared in the event of a biological attack.
We got to make sure that people understand that they're safe and that we're prepared to take care of any contingency, any consequence that develops for any kind of bioterrorism attack.
In other headlines today, the Taliban leader claimed the United States lacks the courage to attack Afghanistan, and he warned Afghanistan's exiled king not to meddle. British Prime Minister Tony Blair said he's seen incontrovertible evidence linking bin Laden to the attacks on America. Saudi Arabia said U.S. forces will not be allowed to use its bases for attacks on Arabs or Muslims, but U.S. officials say they are confident of being able to use a key command center. In Afghanistan, the trial resumed of 8 aid workers, including 2 Americans charged with preaching Christianity. And at New York's Ground Zero, the number of missing is now just over 5,200. 144,000 tons of rubble have been removed. Stay with CBS News and this CBS station for the latest developments in the attacks and their aftermath. This has been a CBS News update. America fights back. John Roberts reporting. Good day.
3 brutal murders. What? A suspect behind bars.
He did threaten to kill those boys.
One lawyer says he's guilty. One says he's innocent. Only the real killer knows the truth.
Your husband's only alibi.
You think I did it with him?
Well, you're one hell of a motive.
Brian Dennehy, Mary Stuart Masterson. Spend the night on the edge of your seat. Ed McBain's 3 Blind Mice, CBS Tonight.
Wednesday on 60 Minutes 2. How does bin Laden live his life in Afghanistan? And why do schoolgirls like these consider him their hero? Wednesday at 8, 7 Central.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Welcome to the Nextel Halftime Report. Jim Nance from our NFL Today studios in New York with Mike Ditka, Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville. Let's get right to these scores. You're seeing Seattle again deliver nothing offensively, and Oakland with Rice scoring twice, jumping all over them 24-0. Now, Broncos over the Ravens. They started the third quarter. What a start for the Broncos today, Randy.
Well, Justin McLaughlin got an interception of an Elvis Grbac pass, took it down to there. Brian Greasy delivers to Dwayne Carswell, but the Broncos so far only 13 yards on 14 carries. All defense so far.
Cincinnati and San Diego, both 2-0 in the season. Bengals tied at the last minute of the first half, Jerry.
John Kitten on a time fade pattern, throw it out there to Chad Johnson, ties it up.
Cousin of?
I don't know.
Keyshawn Johnson. You know it. Now I know you know it. Meanwhile, Cleveland fell 48-0 last year at Jacksonville. Not today. They reversed the trend here.
This is a whole different Cleveland team. Not only do they score here with Jamel Lewis, but they got a great defensive football team. They're playing them right in their face.
And White scores for that Browns team right there, 13-0. Meanwhile, Atlanta's without Jamal Anderson. Knee sprain. He's being examined right now. Falcons 13-7 over Arizona, approaching midway third quarter. Earlier today, Kurt Warner, well, he improved his home record to 16-0, demolishing the
Unbelievable. Watch this play right here, Jimmy. Move. He's almost sacked. He gets rid of the ball. Who's he hit? Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk had 3 touchdowns, accounted for 160.
It's the city.
Because of Priest Holmes. Priest Holmes, big day, 225 total yards, 3 TD. Did it by run, he did it by pass.
And the Giants-Saints game, that tilt will come down to the final play.
Well, Ron Dane had 111 yards rushing. Michael Strahan had 3 sacks. Giants led 14-10 at this point. Joe Jaravicius goes down, gives them a 21-10 lead. New Orleans would kick a field goal, be down 8. Right here at this point, when Brooks is trying to find Willie Jackson in the end zone. Sees him. He's open. Why is he open? He's pushed off, pass interference. He ran from out of the end zone and came in. Giants win.
Could the Vikings avoid an 0-3 start, Jerry?
Yeah, watch Culpepper on a quarterback draw for a touchdown. He threw for 322 yards, and no wide receiver screamed at him today.
I tell you. Nobody out of Brett Favre either, because he threw for 3 more touchdowns, and the Packers are back, believe me.
The Packers have won 7 straight games when you go back to last December. They are 3-0 this year. Thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Monday.
What?
Guess who's having trouble in the bedroom?
Would his name start with an R and end with an amen?
And you won't believe what he brings home to help.
Are you swingers?
You just asked if I was a wife swapper.
Now there's an idea.
Don't miss an all-new Emmy-nominated Everybody Loves Raymond, CBS Monday.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain,
for purple mountain majesty, above the rooted plain, America,
my sweet America.
God shed His amazing grace on thee,
And crown thy good with brotherhood.
from sea to
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
The Raiders have done it all right as they build a 24-0 halftime lead. Second half coming up from Oakland in a moment.
The King of Queens, Monday on CBS. It's all here.
Toyota's clearance is on. Time to check out the powerful Tundra, the truck that's built better from the ground up. So strong, it received the highest overall safety rating of any full-size pickup. And now, you can get super low 5.9% APR financing on the full-size I-Force V8 Tundra. Don't miss this chance to save on this powerful truck. Toyota's 2001 clearance, going on coast to coast.
style instrumentation. Introducing the Lexus IS 300 5-speed. Totally unexpected. Especially starting at under $30,000. For an incredible value, just show up at Lexus of Portland.
I'm a man. I spell you. H-I. N. That rubber band man.
Introducing the tough new crew cab long bed. It's the next frontier.
Leading the way, Ford's leading the way.
Your Ford stores want to drive America with absolutely no interest loans on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. For the first time ever, get 0% financing on Ford vehicles. 0% on cars like Focus and Taurus, trucks like Ranger and F-Series, and 0% on Ford SUVs. 0% financing because America drives Ford, and Ford drives America.